So we have our game more or less working pretty well, but now what I want to do is make like a start screen and an end screen that basically just says what your final score is. So to do that, I'm going to select, we're going to make, I'm going to select here to here, so click on top, hold shift, click, and then click and drag over. Okay, so we have just empty, this one, and then we're going to have a third one over here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a new layer. Let's put it on the right here, underneath text, but above player. And we're just going to call this start and end screen. And just right in here, whatever you want your colors to be. So I'll do like, I don't know, kind of like a darker gray, we'll say. And then I'm just going to go ahead and make like a text here. And I'm just going to call it, what was I calling this one? Oh, cone. Oh, make sure I got, just make it black. Cone racer. Alright, I don't know. Stupid. That looks good. And then I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to use, just so that there's some sort of like graphic, I'm going to put this here and I'll just rotate it around like that. Maybe make it a little bit bigger. Alright. But, you know, I would make like a custom graphic or whatever. So we'll say that's good. And you can see, unfortunately, it shows up here as well. So I have to go ahead and I'm going to right click and insert blank keyframe. So that way it's on this one, but not on this one. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I kind of want it on the back end here. So I'm going to right click on this. I'm just going to copy that frame, go to this one, and we're going to paste that frame. Okay. So these aren't connected anyway. It's basically just like making a copy of it from the previous one. So if I change anything here, it's not going to change the first one. It's not going to change this. Okay, so don't worry about that. And for that matter, actually, I'm not even going to change anything. All right, that's good. So right off the bat, if I were to play this, it's going to go dunk, dunk. It's just going to play right through this really fast, which is not what I want. So on the first frame here, I'm just going to go ahead and make a stop. So I'm going to go to my code snippets, and I'm going to go to timeline navigation and hit stop at this frame. Okay, and then we'll just close it and close it. And what that's going to do is just going to make it so this will start, and until I tap, which I'm going to do in a second, it won't go to the next thing. So I'm going to have this selected, and I'm just going to, I want that when you click on the screen, it just automatically goes to the next section, because we don't have any like sub-menu options anyway. So we're going to say this is good. So what I want to do is add a script to this. So I'm going to select this object because I just need something selected. We're not going to actually use it, but in order to use the snippet, I have to have that. So I'm going to go here, and we're going to press click to go to frame and stop. So I'm going to double click on this. Try again, and it wants an instance name. That's fine. I'm not going to use it anyway. So then I'm just going to go ahead and delete this. And I don't, right now the way it's set up is that you have to click on this movie clip. If you click anywhere else, it's not going to go next. Now, if you want to have a next button where it's like you have to push on this button specifically, you can do that. Like if you had a start button, that makes sense. I'm just going to make it so you click anywhere because I'm picturing this being for mobile. So instead of movie clip, I'm going to write stage. So if you click anywhere on this thing, it's going to go ahead and run this function. And I want it to go to frame and stop at frame 2 because that's this next one. Okay. So just to test that, I'm going to hit Control Enter. And you can see I got my silly thing, and if I click anywhere, it goes to the game here. Okay. Now, it doesn't really quite work yet. So what I got to do is yeah, it doesn't quite work yet. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and have the, well, let's make an ending screen as well, because right now I have this, but that's not really you know, going to work that well. What I want to happen is I want the score to actually be carried on to the next frame. So I'm going to go to here, and I'm going to hit what is it? I'm going to right click, and we're just going to insert frame. Not keyframe, sorry. We're going to right click, and we're going to go ahead and insert frame. There we go. So this score will hold to here. And then I'm going to go ahead and let me see something. I wonder if I F6 if that will keep. Let's see. Does that still have? It does still have it. So I'm going to take this. I hit F6 to actually key it instead. And I just want to move it so it's like here. So the final score. So you have score there, and then it's going to move down there. You get that? Okay. And then I'm going to need actually we don't need a bit of code there because we're going to control that later. All right. So now what I want to have happen is that instead of trace that we hit something, which we did trace track hit, I'm going to take that out, and I'm going to have to instead, I'm going to say go to and stop, and I want to go to frame 3. And when I do this, you're going to see it's actually going to cause an error because there's a bunch of hit tests and things that it doesn't like. So click on here, and then as soon as I hit this, come on, there you go. It's going to give me all these errors. Now, it did sort of work. You see, it did go to the thing. But looks like score didn't work either. So we have to fix that. All right. Oops. So what I need to do is it mostly worked. But the problem is it's still trying to test for hitting and stuff. And then when I go over here, none of the track or play or anything like that exists. So what I got to do is up here where it says function move in direction of key. If you remember, this is on enter frame, so it does every frame. What I want to do is basically tell this to all stop. So all I'm going to do is add an if current frame. Okay, that's just like a pre-built thing, and it just says whatever frame we're on. As long as that is equal to frame 2, which if you look, that's frame 2. That's the meat of the game. Then it's going to run all of this. So I'm just going to take all of this and just tab that in. Enter, and like that. And let's see what happens. I think I'm probably missing one still, so let's just click in here and let's see. Alright, so it says time. Oh, see, like it says it's looking for the rotate track, so let's dismiss all. And if you look down here, this again is on every frame, so it's trying to rotate the track, but the track doesn't exist on frame 3, so I actually also have to do it here. And I'm going to have to do it on this one because this is also on every frame. So wherever one of those are, should have done this a different way. That was a little bit cleaner, but we'll say if current frame is equal to 2, then, you know, run all this code. Tab. And I'll just copy this. Command C or Control C, Control V. And I'm just going to tab this in. Nope, not you. Tab, and there we go, tab, boom, okay. And now, I think that should fix all of it. Alright, let's see, yep, and let's just go ahead and close, and it goes to the next thing. Now, the one issue I'm having is, I believe that was not my score. Let me double check, let me try not to die for a couple of seconds here, and then we'll see if that is indeed, so, let's see. Okay. So, yeah, that's not really working, unfortunately. So, what I'm going to do is, I can't animate this moving down and over. So, I'm actually going to delete that, and we're going to remove that. God bless it, that's not what I wanted. We're going to remove that frame, and I'm going to go ahead and insert frame. So now that one just holds for 2, okay? Which is what I thought I needed to have anyway. So, but what I am going to do is I'm going to take this, and I'm going to look at the positional data. So if you look, see X and Y positions here. So I'm going to take it, I'm going to put it where I want it. I want it to be here. So if you look, it's 113 and 180. So we'll say 110 and 180 is where I want it to go. So, okay. So it's going to do that. Hit test point. If that. It's going to do the hit test, and it says to go to frame and whatever. But before it even goes to do that, I want to do one other bit of code. Tab. I want it to take, what's the name of this? Score text, right? Yeah, score text. I want it to take the score text dot X and set that equal to, what was it, 110, I think? And 180 in the score text.y and set that equal to 180. I don't remember if that's where it was. Let's see, down here. Oh, it was 180 and let's go over here. I want it 180 or 1, oh, that was right, 110, 180. Okay, that's probably fine. Okay, so what that's going to do is it's going to take the score text position, and just before it goes to the next frame, you won't even see it because it'll happen so fast. It's going to reposition it to where I actually want it. That's what this is going to do. So that should hopefully fix that. Let's see what we got going on. Boom, and let's just go ahead, and you can see it holds that score, and I put it right where I wanted it, and good. If I click, it'll go back to this. Whoa. Yeah, it's, wow, it's getting faster and faster each time. Okay, that's yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know how that's happening. But it's good for at least one go, so we'll call that good. My guess is, I think what's happening is that the numbers up here are being set to the previous incarnation, so it's like increasing every time because they're basically being added on top of each other, but I'm not sure. But anyway, we're gonna call that good. Let's see what that looks like. So one more time, I'm just gonna try and play it and see how well it works. So we'll just click in here. Click, okay. This first turn is kind of hard. Ooh, I made it. Okay. Alright. Hey, I'm doing pretty good. I'm actually pretty impressed with myself. Yes. So score 29. So right now, because I collide with this object, I have it built into it. That's as far as you can go. So I didn't really do anything with that. Actually, let's go ahead and we'll add a lap onto this too. That would be kind of cool. So that every time you run to this object, it will keep track of the laps. So I'm going to select this. You know what? I don't know if that's going to work well, actually, because it's underneath this. Yeah, we're going to leave that alone for now. Alright. So anyways, we're going to solve that good. I might add that later on. Alright, so that's that. Yay.